Today's market analysis was very simple to do an if/then analysis of what should be happening in investor sentiment. Today, the Dow traded much lower than the 200-day moving average, kind of breaching the bottom of this wedge formation. But by the end of the day, it came back up almost even to where it closed the previous day, putting the trading back into the wedge formation. Now, this hammer type signal makes it relatively easy to analyze what should happen from here. If the positive trading continues, it tells us that this wedge formation is still in progress. The same analysis is much more clearly evident to see that this wedge formation in the NASDAQ is in progress. So essentially what it shows us is that investor sentiment isn't really that dramatic to the downside, that it's still in this sideways range. Our recommendation on SIEN was based upon, first of all, the belt hold signal, which told you they wiped out quite a few sellers, which meant there wasn't as much selling in the way, and that a J-hook pattern was setting up. We know what the target should be, that if this is the magnitude of wave 1, the magnitude of wave 3 will be approximately the same. Again, putting the investor portfolio in positions that are much higher probability trade setups. Because each candlestick signal provides information telling you what the investor sentiment is doing, it can be easily seen that down here where the Dojis occur, there was lots of indecision right at the 200-day moving average. You had the factor that the stochastics were in the oversold area, that the first signs of buying became evident, that this indecision now had turned into a decision of which way it was going to move. Fortunately, candlestick analysis allows for immediate, analysis of what happens. Notice once it got to the first resistance level, we had a sell signal. If you took profits, you could buy right back again when it came back up through the resistance level, known as a bobble breakout. Right now, our uptrend remains in progress on XNet because notice what it couldn't do. They couldn't close this below the T-line, and you can see another J-hook pattern setting up. Being able to visually analyze what's happening in investor sentiment allows investors to constantly have their funds in the right positions at the right time. Candlestick analysis also allows for the interpretation or the evaluation of what happens when there's a drastic change of investor sentiment. Wayfair had a bullish engulfing signal, followed by a gap up. Now we know what the expectations are of this trade. Probably a 45-degree, which is basically saying there's probably going to be a steady uptrend from this level. Once again, there are about a dozen patterns that produce expected results just because human nature works the same way time after time. Once you learn those patterns, now you have control of your own investing. It allows you to assess what's likely to happen after a candlestick reversal signal. That'll be it. We'll see you in the chat rooms.